In 1659, this bottle sold for more gold than most Sicilian families earned in a year. It promised youth, beauty, and freedom. It delivered death. And the woman who made it became the most feared person in all of Palermo. Her name was Giulia Tofana, and she helped over 600 women murder their husbands. This is her story. Palermo, 1630s. If you were born a woman, your life was already decided. Your father chose your husband. Your husband owned your body, your property, your children. There was no divorce, no escape. If your husband beat you, that was his right. If he bankrupted your family, nothing you could do. If he killed you in a rage, he'd probably get away with it. Women whispered to each other in market squares and church pews. They prayed for widowhood. They prayed for freedom. And sometimes those prayers were answered by a woman named Giulia Tofana. Giulia didn't set out to become a serial killer. She was an apothecary's daughter, smart, skilled with herbs and chemistry. But she understood something the men around her didn't. She created something perfect. Aqua Tofana. A clear, odorless, tasteless liquid. 4 to 6 drops over several weeks, and a healthy man would waste away from what looked like natural causes. Doctors called it the fever, the wasting sickness, bad humors. They never suspected poison because it mimicked diseases they saw every day. She disguised it as makeup, as holy water, sold it in bottles decorated with the face of St. Nicholas. Women could hide it in plain sight. 4 drops for a gentle exit, 6 drops if you were in a hurry. And the recipe? She took that to her grave. But Giulia didn't work alone. She created a network. Her daughter, Girolama, a woman named Laura Crispy. They trained others, taught them the signs of abuse, how to recognize when a woman was desperate. They didn't sell to just anyone. You had to be referred. You had to tell your story, prove you'd exhausted every other option. For 40 years, they operated in the shadows. Over 600 men died, and nobody noticed the pattern, because nobody was looking. Dead husbands meant grieving widows. It never occurred to anyone that the widows might be celebrating. Giulia gave them something the law wouldn't, the church wouldn't, society wouldn't. She gave them a choice. Then in 1659, everything unraveled. A young wife got scared. She'd put the drops in her husband's soup, but couldn't go through with it. She stopped him from eating, started crying, confessed everything. Her husband went straight to the authorities. They traced the bottle back to Giulia. Giulia ran, hid in a church claiming sanctuary. For months, she was untouchable. The church protected her because, well, nobody knows exactly why. But the people of Palermo were terrified. Wives looked at husbands differently. Husbands looked at their dinner plates with suspicion. The city demanded justice. Finally, the church gave her up. Under torture, she confessed. Named names. Gave up her daughter. Her entire network. July 1659. Giulia Tofana was executed in Palermo's public square. They say she was strangled, then thrown into the church wall of San Pedro, her body sealed in bricks as a warning. Her daughter and 3 assistants were hanged. Dozens of women were arrested, questioned, executed. The official record says she killed 600 men. Some historians think it was far more. The truth died with her. But here's what they don't tell you in the history books. Aqua Tofana didn't die with Giulia. Her recipe survived. For another 200 years, similar poisons appeared across Italy, always sold by women. 2 women. Was Giulia Tofana a serial killer? Absolutely. Was she a murderer who enabled murders? Yes. But she was also something else. She was the product of a world where women had no power, no voice, and no way out. In that world, poison wasn't just murder. Sometimes it was the only door to freedom. This is the untold story of southern Italy, where even monsters have their reasons.